The iron doors slammed shut with a thunder that echoed through the ancient stone halls. 15 terrified students stood frozen, realizing they were trapped inside a castle that hadn't seen sunlight in decades. At the front stood Ethan Cole, the school's infamous bully, tall, smug, and cruel, holding the keys like a trophy. He smirked as panic spread. "Welcome to my little game," he said, voice dripping with arrogance. "No one leaves until I say so." But in the back of the trembling crowd, a quiet girl with sharp, observing eyes didn't flinch. Her name was Aria, the girl everyone ignored, the one Ethan thought was weak. He had no idea. She was the reason they were all there. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you re-watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The castle was old, abandoned, rumored to be cursed. Thick cobwebs hung like drapes, and the air carried the scent of cold stone and forgotten secrets. Every step the students took echoed like whispers of ghosts. Some cried, some begged. Ethan laughed, but Aria stayed silent. She had waited a long time for this night. Ethan had bullied her for years, tripped her in hallways, spread lies, humiliated her in front of everyone. And when she tried to speak up, teachers looked away. Friends disappeared. She learned to hide her pain behind quiet smiles. But pain, when buried too long, doesn't die. It waits. And tonight, it had found its moment. As the hours passed, Ethan's laughter began to fade. Strange things started happening. The lights flickered though there was no power. Doors that had been locked creaked open, only to slam shut again. Shadows moved across the walls, shifting in patterns that made no sense. "Who's doing this?" Ethan barked. "Show yourself." No one answered, but Aria's reflection, in the cracked mirror at the end of the hall, smiled back, colder than the air around them. She walked toward him slowly, her voice calm, steady. "You think you trapped us here, Ethan," she said softly, "but you only walked into your own cage." Confusion flickered across his face. "What are you talking about?" Aria tilted her head. "You don't remember this place, do you? You should. Your family used to own it." His bravado faltered. "So what?" Her voice hardened. "So, it was your father who locked my brother in these walls. He was 10. You all called it an accident." Her hands trembled, not with fear, but fury. "I came back to finish what you started, not with violence, but with truth." The group gasped. Some looked at Ethan, some at Aria. The bully's smirk was gone now, replaced with unease. "You're lying," he said, but his voice broke halfway through. "No," she whispered, "you're remembering." And then it happened. The castle itself seemed to respond. A cold gust swept through the halls, extinguishing the torches. The walls groaned, as if waking from sleep. The students huddled together, terrified. Aria stepped closer. "This isn't a trap for them, Ethan. It's for you. Every door, every corridor. It all leads back to what your family did here, to what you've become." He tried to run, but every exit was sealed. His own key wouldn't fit anymore. He shouted, pounded, screamed for help, but the castle had already chosen its justice, and then the floor beneath him cracked. He fell to his knees, staring at the faint outline of small handprints burned into the stone. Aria knelt beside him. "You didn't just bully me, Ethan. You kept a curse alive." He looked up, tears streaking down his face. For the first time, the bully was the one begging. "Please, make it stop." She hesitated, the moment of moral weight. Could she let him suffer as she had? Would that make her any better? The silence stretched like eternity. Then she sighed, her voice barely a whisper. "You don't break the curse with fear. You break it with forgiveness." She reached out her hand. Ethan stared at it, hesitant, trembling, and finally took it. The castle shuddered once, then fell silent. The doors unlocked with a heavy click. A breeze swept through the halls, carrying the dust and darkness away. When the students stepped outside, dawn had broken, pink and gold spilling over the horizon. Ethan walked last, eyes lowered, the weight of his sins finally visible on his face. Aria turned back toward the castle one last time. The light hit the windows, and for a brief second, she saw a small boy's reflection smiling back. Her brother, finally free. Because sometimes the strongest revenge isn't cruelty, it's mercy. She thought she'd never find peace again. She was wrong. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And sometimes the trap we set for others becomes the lesson that frees us all. If this story gave you chills, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you'd have done in Aria's place. Would you forgive, or would you let the trap close? I can't wait to read your thoughts.